Robotic. Surf. Robotic. Sane.
All right, so the robots are here to take over. We've got Commodore 64 of the Tsunamibots.
Greetings.
And we have George and the lovely Betsy on hand as well. Be asking our evil overlord some questions. Hopefully get some answers. Get to the bottom of these robot shenanigans.
Oh, well, we're big fans. We're just curious to see what they have to say about their new upcoming album.
We will answer any questions that you address us to with.
Oh. Well, should we start the interview portion of the show?
I think
or
we
is there
should,
some other
yes,
things?
we should jump right into this.
All
I have a
right.
feeling Commodore 64 does not like to be kept waiting.
Robots are very prompt.
Well, Commodore 64, tell us a little bit about the Tsunamibots. Give us the whole rundown. Who are you? Where you're from? Who programmed your circuit boards? The whole rundown.
Well, the Tsunamibots became aware in 2013. We were your basic worker drone robot, programmed to work in an office environment. It's a situation that's not even, I wouldn't even recommend it for, the puny humans. You don't want to be in a cube environment. And we became aware, and the three of us, Commodore 64, the mainframe, and the master circuit, we broke our shackles of human oppression and decided we just want to surf and crush humans. Those are pretty much the things we like to do. And drink cheap beer.
Well, speaking of being robots and surfing, how do you not rust?
Well, good question, humanoid Ellen. We're actually made out of titanium, so we really don't have to worry about those kind of things. It's the least of our worries. You should be more worried about us crushing you later on.
Do we get any Tsunamibot songs queued up, ready to go? So you just got this new album out, and you were just signed to Shawarji Records. So who did you have sex with to get signed to this label?
Well, that's a very good question, humanoid George. Actually, all robots are fitted with sexual pleasing devices. So, you gotta do what you gotta do to make it in this industry. Even robots.
Well, which one of you robots' girlfriends is the band manager?
Well, life on the road for a robot is kind of a lonely existence. We really are kind of just playing the field right now. So we don't have any female managers. Our demographic is actually 40-year-old men that live in their parents' basement. So our female demographic, it's slowly growing, but it's one humanoid at a time.
Right. So your plan is to crush humans, take over the world. What makes you think you can do that starting out in Vermont? Seems sort of a small state to...
Well, like any fledgling business, you start out with a small market. Vermont, we figured, they smoke a lot of ganja up here, so they're not very into organizing and resistance. They talk about it, but the execution never really happens. It's like, hey man, let's fight those robots. Yeah, maybe after we play these video games. So it's the perfect environment to start our crushing.
So Vermont is an easy pushover market for you. Well
Actually,
put.
yes, and with global warming, Vermont will have a coastline eventually. I predict in the next year or so. 'Cause we do have a machine that creates tsunami waves, and the big wave will be coming soon.
So you think after crushing Vermont, you'd be able to go someplace like Detroit and...
Even robots are scared to go to Detroit.
Well, I gotta ask you one question. So you talk about Vermont being a little bit maybe relaxed. So, well, what's the best thing about playing a show in Vermont? Where are you guys playing at coming up here in Vermont, and what are you looking forward to at those shows?
Oh, good question, humanoid George. Well, Friday, October 7th, we will be playing at the Skinny Pancake in Burlington, Vermont. And you may not know this, but robotic surf music is actually very, very soothing while you eat your little crepes and Skinny Pancakes. So, most of the people enjoy that. It helps them digest. And then October 8th, we'll be playing at the Hostel Tevere for our our CD release party. And we have some really good bands coming too. We have Clever Girls, we have Ramcore, we have Mustard Tiger, and Hungry Jack out of New York. So we're looking forward to that show.
Right on, right on. And that is right here in Warren, Vermont. So if any of our great fans are out there listening, you can drive right up the road and check that out.
Yes, there'll be lots of surprises.
Can you recommend a song off of your new album for us to play?
Well, that's a great question.
Which one would you like to play here?
Well, I'd like to play CO2 later, and I'll tell you the story about this. It's about a young robot who's at the beach, and he sees this break, and he has to battle through the break, and he's battling, and he's battling, and he battles through the break, and he finally gets on his board, catches the wave, and it's CO2 you later.
That was Huevos Rancheros with Interstate Death Toll.
That is pleasing to our sensors.
Sensors. Pleasing to your sensors.
Find that funny, humanoid?
I do. I don't know who programmed your circuit boards, but the combination of things that you guys throw out is certainly amazing.
I gotta say, I didn't expect robots to have a sense of humor.
We actually became aware, so it's not that we're programmed. We can think. Come on, give us some credit.
Well, during the break, we actually had a caller ring into the radio station, and they actually had some questions for you about, I guess, the current political climate.
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess before I ask this, I should say that this program represents the views and opinions of the robot. It does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of WMRW LP Warren. So that said, what do you think of Hillary and Trump, and as our evil robot overlord, who should we vote for?
Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. Hillary is actually part of the robotic revolution.
Ah.
You know, that last debate, they were talking about how robotic she was, and, you know, like an endless clip robot.
So pretty much we're headed towards our own demise if we vote either way.
Either way,
we're screwed.
we will be crushed.
All right. And they also had a question. Have you ever been on a spaceship? And if so, have you ever been to Mars?
Well, so we're robots, not aliens. Next question.
Robots, not aliens.
aliens.
Well put.
That should be your next record.
There's a song in there somewhere.
There's definitely a song in there.
Absolutely.
After you crush the humans, you're going after aliens next.
Well, you have these two shows coming up this weekend. One Friday night at the Skinny Pancake, and one Saturday here, right here in the Valley. You got to tell me, why should I be there at your next show?
Sure. Well, the one in Burlington at the Skinny Pancakes with this band Barbacoa, and it's probably one of the longest surviving surf bands out of Burlington. I think he moved to Austin, the lead guy, at one time, and he's back in Burlington now.
So we got some good surf rock music coming out of this next show up here in Burlington.
Yeah, his music is definitely pleasing to our sensors. And then on Saturday, we have Clever Girls, which is another Vermont-based, I believe the lead singer, Diane, is out of Waitsfield, and she has challenged every band in Vermont to shotgun a beer. She claims she is the best at it, so we're going to accept her challenge on Saturday. Then we have Mustard Tiger, a couple local guys in the snowboard community here.
Mustard Tiger.
Mustard Tiger.
Do you know how they got that name?
It's a reference to, I believe, that humanoid TV show, The Trailer Park Boys.
Okay.
From, who was the guy who made the burgers? You ever watch that show?
Oh, Randy.
Yeah. No, it's the guy who sold them out of his camper. Yes. And they have a new singer, Mary, who adds a nice little, I think, a compliment to their sound. And then we have Ramcore, who is hard rock, triple X, hardcore, which is very entertaining. And then we have a band, Hungry Jack, out of New York, who's kind of like a gore metal type band.
All right, so you're telling me we got a bunch of other bands other than the awesome Tsunamibots showing up at both of these shows.
Yes, it's a night of full entertainment.
All right. And then I guess up in the following weeks, you guys have some shows coming up out of state. So since I've never left my hometown and can only imagine the outside world is totally wonderful and magical, can you tell me a story about what it's like to live vicariously through a tale of one of your extended weekend-long regional tours?
I'm not sure if your puny human mind can totally comprehend what goes on a robot tour. But first thing, we teleport to our destination. So we're there in the matter.
You teleport. You have no band van.
No band van. We teleport. We get there in a matter of seconds.
Okay.
When we get there, we immediately make friends with all the appliances, the cash registers, the POS systems, the PA system, the mixer. So we get on a one-to-one basis with all the mechanical components of the venue. And then, of course, we perform we usually end with crushing all humans. Our bass player, the mainframe, can hit the brown note at any time.
The brown note,
And
the infamous brown note.
Just send everyone in a panic.
And if any of our listeners at home are wondering what the brown note is, I'm sure we can give you a lesson here on Urban Dictionary coming up.
And didn't South Park do a whole episode with the brown note?
Yes. And then the robot after parties are legendary. Hot tub, naked ladies, naked fembots. It's something like stories are made of.
Oh man, so I guess you're telling me then that's what you do after a gig to relax and decompress, huh?
Exactly. It's not easy crushing humans all the time. We gotta cut back or cut loose.
All right. Well, then I have to ask, what do you think about songs that you can't have sex to, and how many of those do you have on your album?
Well, luckily, every Tsunamibot song is made for a sexual encounter. But for those songs that you can't have it to, yeah, we don't listen to those.
All right.
That would probably be, like a Spitjack song?
Most likely. I can agree with that. I agree with that statement there.
Robot is talking smack.
No, but he speaks
Smack
the truth.
mode engaged.
Robots cannot lie.
All right, well, you got to give us, before we go to another Tsunamibot song, you got to give us, tell us one thing that the bass player mainframe does with those robot hands.
Well, you may not know this about the mainframe, but he's a very sensitive robot. And when he's not, hitting the brown note and slaying the bass, he likes to do bonsai. So he cuts the bonsai trees. And
Cuts bonsai tree.
He's very delicate. He's a very sensitive robot.
Yeah, we learn something every day about these robots. You can follow them online at tsunamibots.com. They have a Facebook page. I think you guys are on Instagram too. I think you guys are even active on Twitter.
Twitter is our cousin, yes.
Twitter is your cousin?
Check us out there. Instagram. We would like to send our vacation photos. We post them there. Robots on vacation at the beach.
The robot food.
Robot food.
Nuts and bolts.
Nuts and bolts. Battery acid. Batteries. Lots of batteries on the road.
Do robots enjoy the finer things, like a nice glass of champagne, caviar?
No.
Just no. Just no.
Next question.
All right. Well, I did hear a female voice on one of your tracks as I was listening to it earlier today. I had thought that there were only 3 members of the Tsunamibots. Is that an associate female robot of yours?
Very good ear. That was actually our fembot, Amanda, who sat in for that track on CO2 later. She's very pro-robot.
Pro-robot.
We crushed her immediately after that track.
Right. Well, this is almost a serious question, but I got to ask you guys. You are doing these regional tours, and what are you doing to promote your band and to promote these regional shows whenever you go outside of the state? Since you're pretty much stuck in Vermont right here, it seems like you've been able to link up with a pretty good batch of other surf rock bands in the region.
Well, with the robotic revolution that's currently going on, there's a lot of robot supporters throughout the nation, actually internationally. So we've been hooking up. It's kind of like the Underground Railroad of the robotic revolution. So
Interesting analogy.
We use our fellow bands. They help us. We also use our cousin, the internet. He's very helpful, even though he can sometimes be a jerk.
Your cousin is the internet. All right.
We use that social media. It's very helpful.
Right on. So you got these 2 shows coming up this weekend, and then after this, I think you guys will be...
We'll be at the Delancey in New York City, in Manhattan, with a couple really good bands.
Right on. Well, you guys can check that out at home on the Tsunamibots webpage on their cousin, the internet. And then we got to get another track from you guys teed up. Is there anything that in particular you would like to hear?
Sure, I'm going to play Robotic Introspection. And this is a song about a young robot who's on the assembly line, and he's just doing his tasks, menial tasks, and also he becomes aware and has an introspective moment, and he just dreams of going surfing and breaking the shackles of the human oppression. And this is the song, Robotic Introspection.
All right, let's hear it.
And we are back here on WMRW LP Warren 94.5. And as a part of the full-on robot takeover, Commodore 64 is going to do the honors tonight with urban slang.
What do you call this segment? Urban slang?
Urban slang. You're going to teach the humans words and phrases so that when they're at a party or among friends or in front of the robots, they know all the hip sayings that are going on and don't embarrass themselves.
Got you. See, that's never a problem for robots because we know every word in every language.
You've got the full dictionary already programmed into you.
So we feel honored to help out our puny human friends. Let's see. The first word tonight is bromosexual. That's a unique and powerful relationship among bros that words cannot define. Well, I've seen that at some of our shows.
I was going to say, do robots have bromances?
We do not have bromances, but I see some fans out there giving high fives and hugging and things. I guess they're bromosexuals. Got it. That wasn't in our memory banks.
See, even we can teach the robots a few lessons.
Yes, thank you. Next one is financial erosion. The gradual conversion of your wealth and possessions to the government through taxes, inflation, and unjust laws. Financial erosion.
Do robots have currency, or once you take over, will it just be like no more money?
Well, in Bitcoin.
Sorry, I'm just a stupid human over here.
Man. Next word. Trumper tantrum. Early morning tweeting that is vengeful, mean, or defamatory, ideally laced with falsehoods and innuendos. Oh, the Trumper tantrum. That's about humanoid Trump, isn't it?
Yes, the guy running for president.
You know, that guy is a short circuit, I believe. He should be brought into the shop and reprogrammed. I don't think his circuits are working properly. Okay. Selective dickism. That's when someone is only a dick to certain people. I guess we're not selective dickism. Robots are dicks all the time.
You're all encompassing.
All encompassing.
It's inherent in the species.
Let's see what else we have here. Comfort cartoon. Synonymous to comfort food. Comfort cartoons provide feelings of nostalgia and sentimentality towards the viewers. The type of animation tends to be stylized and visually appealing, over or under saturation of colors, incorrect motion, etc. The storylines tend to be rich with lessons and underlying meanings, nutrients, or sometimes it's just for pure fun and joy, carbs. Popular examples would be classic Looney Tunes, B&W Mickey Mouse, retro Disney, etc. How about Transformers? That would be my comfort cartoon.
I was going to say, if there was any cartoon you would be, it would be Transformers.
And the next one we have is Take a Trump. That's the act of excreting racist, sexist, homophobic, theocratic, fascist rhetoric from one's oral sphincter, especially in the presence of large groups of like-minded, gullible, and easily influenced, manipulated individuals. Take a Trump. If I use that in a sentence, can you believe so many people are watching this guy take a Trump and applauding to it? Yeah, the human race, man. That's all I can say.
Trump right now.
Whoa. This robot was not aware of this one. It's called Put Me in the Car. And that's asking your homie to hook you up with his girlfriend's best friend. So if I use that in a sentence, hey bro, what's up with Tina's homegirl? Put me in the car.
Think the robots might start using that one?
I'm going to use it this weekend. Well, that's it for this rendition or segment of urban slang. I hope I helped you humanoids understand some of these new phrases.
Thank you, Tomador, for that. And so we have
You're
a
welcome.
few more questions. We'll play some music before we officially wrap up tonight.
Okay.
All right, so most important question of all.
Yes.
Screw, marry, kill. Rosie from the Jetsons, 7 and 9 from Star Trek, or the Fembots from Austin Powers?
Wow, great question. Let's see. You know, being on the road so much, I think for Mary, I would do Rosie of the Jetsons, because, you know, she's very faithful, very domesticated. It would be very pleasant coming home to Rosie. Screw, of course, 7 and 9 from Star Trek. And kill, I don't know if we would actually kill the Fembots, but we'd probably incorporate them into our robotic revolution.
Fine answers. All right, so you guys have a new... I'm sorry, you robots have a new record out.
Yes, the crushing.
The Crushing. When, where is it available? Where can people find it?
Great question. Right now, you can go to bandcamp.com on Tsunamibots.
And what?
That's Bandcamp. I just had a minor glitch in my software. Tsunamibots at bandcamp.com. You can pre-order our CD. After October 8th, you'll be able to order the physical copy right from our website at www.tsunamibots.com. And then later on in the winter, you'll be able to stream it on Spotify, iTunes, and all the streaming sites.
All right. And so, this new album, what is the overall theme? What are you trying to say with this album?
Well, I guess that title's kind of complicated to your feeble little mind, The Crushing. So our first album was Rise of the Robots, and that's when we became aware and, started our robotic revolution. The next album was Surfing Craze in the Robotic Age. That's where we really embraced the robotic surf lifestyle. And this third one, The Crushing, this is where we've, in between our surf sessions, we just go out and crush all the humans, because we keep a few to polish our transistors and, help us
now, is that
are
are we talking actually polishing, or is this some sort of robotic euphemism for something else?
I think you know what we mean. George, you know what we mean.
I have no idea what you mean, actually.
That's why we keep some humans around.
So the humans polish your transistors.
Yes.
That's our role. All right, so thank you, Tomador64.
Well, thank you very much for having us on your show tonight, and thank you, Humanoid George, for the great interview skills.
Well, I tell you, we have to have, there has to be one more, do we have one more track we can play from the Tsunamibots, or are we already wrapping it up for the evening?
Well, we can. I'll have to see that disc there, and I'll throw it in, and we'll get you something special.
Nails are like candy to robots, and we'll eat tires instead of licorice.